And I'm talking about like on a week-to-week basis, this team consistently looks pretty unstoppable. That loss to the Jets be damned. Welcome to the jungle, everyone. I'm Kyle Phelps, and I did not see the NFL shaking out the way that it has so far this season. We've currently got an entire division in the playoffs right now, and another division that's lucky to have anyone in the conversation. Before we jump into this week's power rankings, I'd just like to ask that you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. It really helps my channel grow, and it helps you know when all of my content comes out. So, as always, here's a quick overview of the bottom three categories. I want to point out that the Giants are back where they deserve to be in the relegation stage, and I cannot believe that I tried to tell people that Daniel Jones was going to be a fantasy sleeper this year. Bad take. The Packers are tentatively out of the bottom category after decisively beating the Rams, but honestly, we'll see there, and I'm not entirely sure. I'm kind of done with the Jets, though. I love me some CJ Uzomah, but what happened to your hands, bro? He was so reliable when he was here in Cincinnati. Alright, enough of that. Let's move on to the teams that matter. First up, we got the playoff hopefuls. The Vikings and the Bills are at 16 and 15 respectively. And oh, how the mighty have fallen with the Bills. They're out of the playoffs entirely if the season were to end right now, and they're trending in the wrong direction. But I'm not totally ready to give up on them just yet. And I'm not quite ready to buy into the Josh Dobbs hype with the Vikings yet either, but, we'll see. And number 14, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. God, that just felt gross to say. Mike Tomlin is a voodoo wizard though, guys, and I can't deny that, but that's all I got to say about the matter. Number 13, the New Orleans Saints might be constantly making Mikey shit his pants on a weekly basis, but they are getting it done lately. Pete Carmichael be damned. It's coming against bottom 5 teams, but still, you can't keep the NFC South leaders out of the top 14. I just can't do it. Number 12, the Cleveland Browns. I want to be clear. You are here because of your defense, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson looked pretty good last week, but the defense is the real highlight of this football team. Myles Garrett is an alien. There's an absolute alien. At number 11, the San Francisco 49ers stay put because they had a bye week. Next up, we've got the contenders. Teams that could make the leap and go on a run, but I don't think anyone's going to call them favorites right now. The Cowboys moved down a spot to number 10 this week because, bro, Dak ain't it. He just ain't. That final drive against the Eagles was all the proof that I need to keep the Cowboys down here at this point. Number 9, the Seattle Seahawks moved down a spot as well after getting destroyed by the Ravens, but it's just luck of the draw here, really. I'm not putting the Browns or the Saints in the top 10, so there's not really a whole lot of room for the Hawks to fall right now, especially considering how good the Ravens look lately, and getting smashed by them on the trajectory they're on, I guess there's really no shame in that. At number 8, brace yourselves, it's the Houston Texans. What? CJ Stroud, though, has been an absolute godsend for this football team, and anyone up against them anytime soon needs to be very, very afraid. Oh, wait, fuck, shit. At number 7, the Miami Dolphins are a team that I no longer really consider a Super Bowl contender, at all. They were getting mauled by the Chiefs in Germany before they tried and failed to come back in the second half. Luckily for them, I don't think they're going to fall much farther because they got a bunch of those easy teams coming up again. But until they beat a good team, I am not going to put them in my top 5. I don't care if you win 80-20, Miami. And finally, number 6, the Jacksonville Jaguars were also unbiased, so they're going to stay put. And then finally, we got the Super Bowl contenders. Yes, the 5 best teams in the NFL coming up. Starting off, we got the Detroit Lions at number 5. They were also on bye, so that was anticlimactic. But at number 4, the Cincinnati Bengals are finally back in the top 5, and I've been waiting all year to feel justified in putting them up here. The Bengals are hot right now, having won 5 of their last 6 games, most recently dominating the 49ers and handily beating the Bills in a game where the final score I don't think really reflected how in control of that game the Bengals were. They still won by 8, but it wasn't by like 50, which is what it kind of felt like at times. They've got the toughest remaining strength of schedule in the NFL left, so believe me, if they keep winning, they will keep climbing. At number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs looked like they bounced all the way back against the Dolphins in Germany, but then they kind of fell off in the second half, and I think kind of proved why I've been saying that I have some concerns about them. Very much unlike the number 2 Baltimore Ravens, who right now look really unstoppable. The Ravens' defense looks nasty. You know, Lamar Jackson had a relatively pedestrian game against the Seattle Seahawks, and they still beat him 37-3, guys. But they're not quite as great all around as the number 1 Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm talking about like on a week-to-week basis, this team consistently looks pretty unstoppable. That loss to the Jets be damned. The Ravens do have higher highs, but they also struggle at times where I don't think the Eagles would. So the Eagles are going to stay at number 1. So there you go. One more time for posterity. Here's the whole list. And I think we can decisively say who is part of the picture, who isn't, and who's transcending the picture right now. What are your thoughts? Are the Bengals maybe too high because they're technically in 4th place in their division? Or should I be giving the Vikings more credit because they're getting Justin Jefferson back soon and they're part of the playoff picture right now? Let me know in the comments below and I'll feature the best ones in my next video, like this one from Mikey, who said, I still want Pete Carmichael fired. And, I mean, you know, fair enough, but that is 2 weeks in a row, Mikey, that offense has looked pretty good. Obviously, you know, this week wasn't as good as last week, but, you know, y'all can win some games with that offense. We'll see if they keep that up going forward, but until then, y'all can always catch more of what I do at Kyle Phelps92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/ThePhelps, Butt Fumble Sports, the Battle of Ohio podcast, and right here if you subscribe. Do I get to put the Bengals up at number 1 at some point? Ooh, things are getting spicy. I'll leave y'all, as always, with a hootie!